Welcome to another horrid, despicable episode of the apocalypse. A very tired one at that. And at times like this, I am reminded of things. I thought about how I always knew where this was all going. But none of you did. As you played your games, as you endorsed the mob, endorsed the Reich, the mobsters themselves, all smiles, cashing in on a man's work. The executives censoring lest Russian money cross their desk, lest money in general cross their desk. The CEOs, the greedy, the rubes, who put their name on the literal Antichrist, on evil before the Antichrist's arrival in politics. Well, the evil was there. You voted for it every 4 years. Enthusiastically. The man will not forget that. I am reminded of mobsters, that unfortunate rock stars became entangled with. I am reminded of the random jerk-offs who huddled under their umbrella out of anger or whatever worthless reason, excuse. Irrelevant. The only thing that matters is you were shilling for the mob, the executive, the CEO, the random jerk-off, doing it for nothing. You know who you are. What all of you did not realize is where this all ends. It ends in the lake, son. I knew that the entire time. You were playing games. You were having your fun. And I was fine with what I was doing. Two instances come to mind in this lake exploration. One, years ago, a certain rock star's wife decided to deploy the most vile of cretins to make fun, make light of her husband's death. Some of you chose to be in league with that. Be ye random jerk-off or executive. It matters not. You were still doing the devil's work, son. That's all that matters. For a woman who sends maybe herself, for all I know, to make light, joke, shame her husband and how he died. The other instance that comes to mind is what proved it all to me 100%, that it was the same evil in the two situations that I deal with. I said that many times over the years, that it's the same evil, both of these topics I discuss. The Antichrist had an event. 2 days later, the other subjects of discussion that I put forth for you over the course of years in between censorship by every website, even to this day. 2 days later, they also had an event, obviously inspired by the Antichrist's event, in the image of it, if you will. As if Party 2 took a cue from Party 1. Of course, I am not saying they know each other or it was a plan between them. Of course not. It was simply one evil entity emulating another. Out of convenience, they saw the value of the lie, even though people died for that lie. 2 days later, they also have an event that's never happened to them before. Just like the Antichrist. That is what the random jerk-off, executive, CEO, etc., you all know who you are. That is what you chose to be in league with. You are in league with it to this minute. But again, what you all did not know, that I did the entire time, is this all ends in the lake, and that situation, the mob situation, you chose Satan then, and if you chose the Reich, boy, did you choose Satan again, son. Both situations, tests for you. And I failed in my mission, in my test, in my own way, and I admit that. I won't cite the ways. This is long enough. But what I did not do, never considered once, son, is shilling for the mob or shilling for the Antichrist. Can you say the same, son? Many of you cannot. This all ends one place. I've known that the entire time. That's why I wouldn't dare do what you did. It ends at the lake. Smiles and lies will not save you. This realm is nearly at its end. I suggest you review your conduct and ask yourself what side you're on, for that will determine what side of the lake you are on, son. And since you have unwisely chosen the apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide. Unfortunately for me, I happen to be that guide, your humble guide, Nicholas. Forgive my prologue. It's something that just came to me. I was going to do this video hours ago, but I fell asleep. When I awoke, and I began doing the things I need to do, including get this done, that little prologue just came to me. Forgive me. Let us begin. Okay, Donnie has been hearing the cattle ranchers are pissed off. Meat prices are going higher and higher. The ranchers are starting to complain now that they see Donnie's about to buy Argentinian beef. Donnie's starting to see that. He's got haggard-ass Brooke Rollins coming to him saying, yeah, I'm getting phone calls. We need to do something. The pitchforks and torches are going to come out from our own people, the farmers. Cue Donnie with this bullshit. Looks like this. Truth Social Money Laundering Incorporated. The cattle ranchers, who I love, oh, no, he doesn't love anyone, don't understand that the only reason they are doing so well for the first time in decades is because I put tariffs on cattle coming into the U.S., including a 50% tariff on Brazil. If it weren't for me, they would be doing just as they've done for the past 20 years. Terrible. It would be nice if they would understand that, but they also have to get their prices down because the consumer is a very big factor in my thinking also. So what's Donnie basically saying? I'm grifting. The tariff grift is always paramount. That tells me personally Donnie's pocketing the money. He would never be this serious. He says it's his favorite word, tariffs. That means it's in his pocket, son. That's what that means. So fuck you and how the tariffs are affecting your business and how I'm ruining the economy. Your prices are too high, and you need to get them down. I'm grifting. That's my thing. Fuck off. Don't even try and, step in and stop any of that. You need to lower prices, though. Otherwise, I'm buying from Argentina. He was buying from Argentina anyway, son. No matter what you do. He's got to deal with that guy down there. Maybe the Nazis are going to flee there like they did last time, once this all blows up. Who the fuck knows? All I know is, down in Argentina, there are people that are invested in Argentina that Donnie's taking care of. And the leader himself, he's a sociopath, obviously, like Donnie. Whatever Donnie wants to do with the Reich, that thing will go along. Whatever his fucking name is, I don't even care. I don't remember. The leader of Argentina. Who fucking cares? Lake fodder, son. Nothing more. Nothing more. Dead before they were born, son. That person will go along with the Reich. That's a serious ally of the Reich. And Argentina is quite a large country. That's why they're getting bailed out, plus billionaires that have invested there. Losing their investment because of a fucking sociopath. That reminds me a lot of Donnie, my God. So the cattle ranchers have to deal with all that, and then they get told, your prices are too high. Fuck you. And the only thing that saved them is Donnie's tariff grift. That's what Donnie throws at everything. It's solved, it's brought us world peace, his tariff grift, all that money he's pocketing. It's saved the cattle industry. No, it hasn't. Otherwise, Donnie wouldn't be writing all this. Or AI wouldn't be writing it. I have a feeling they're using Donnie. They know he's declining mentally, physically, everything. He will die soon. Could be 5 years, 10 years. Who knows? If it was allowed to play out. It won't be. There's not enough time left. I have a feeling they're experimenting with putting his proclamations through AI. Training it to be him. Like Leon's training Grok to be him. In his image. I really wonder about that when I've read a few of his posts lately. If this is an ongoing process where they're continuing to train the AI to be him, basically, in his image. I really wonder if that's what's going on with a lot of these posts. You know, 30 of them a day. For the time when he's no longer, and he's just a vegetable sitting there as a prop. And other people are really running things. And I keep seeing people make the mistake of thinking he's a puppet that other people are running. Oh no, son, he just demolished half the White House. He's not a puppet, except for Vlad, who owns him. That's it. But people keep making this mistake. I know the old philosophy, both parties are the same, it's all bullshit, blah, blah. No, they never were. That's not true. It never was true. And I've said that before myself. But I realized I was wrong one day when Donnie Shitbags came along. And what the two parties put forth as a platform and the programs they try and get through. I mean, it's night and day, and it always has been. Every now and then, a Hitler comes the fuck along. That's as simple as I can put it. A Caligula, a Nero, a Hitler, whatever. Takes politics as usual, turns it on its fucking head, puts Satan right at the top of it. That's what people are fucking up right now. Donnie is in charge right now. There are people whispering in his ear, of course, as there are with every leader since the beginning of time. But Donnie is in charge, I can tell. Can't you tell by the way the world's changed just since he came along? Don't make that mistake. I see broadcasters, I've been broadcasting 20 years, still making that mistake because they've been saying that for 20 years. That they're all the same, it's all the same. Oh no, son, it's night and fucking day. And now we're in that time where we have that person, that utter sociopath with a God complex. If you can't see that by now, you're just lost, son. Oh no, this is different. This going to all those places that everybody yelled about for 40 years, pointing the fingers at liberals. You all made it happen as you pointed the finger. You made Donnie happen. And the lesser Donnies, George Bush, this person, that did just all kind of evil via their platform, via their wars, via their give all the money to the rich, cut social programs, hurt the poor. That's what you've done with your Republican vote your entire life. Do you understand that? You've been the antithesis of Jesus Christ. I don't care if you agree with me. It won't matter at the lake if you agree with me, son. Irrelevant. Then the maximum expression of your racism, cruelty, whatever. I don't care what excuse you used to vote R. We all know what R stands for, and it sure as fuck don't stand for Christ, son. Never did. Stands for hurt the poor, hurt the minority, persecute people, gays, transgender, whatever target of the minute was for the church. That's what you've been a part of your whole life. I don't care how you justify it. I don't care how many times Jesus comes across your worthless lips. I don't care how many times you went to church and put $20 in the collection plate. You were naught but a force of evil on this planet. Now the maximum expression of you, the evil you have endorsed, is here, and the bill's due, son. And it's going to all those nightmare places. It's already there. Especially if you're a fisherman in the Caribbean or in the Pacific right now. Or you're a poor bastard stuck in fucking Seacot until this whole fucking piece of shit paradigm ends. And it will, son. And it'll end real bad. Very badly. Very strongly. I'm here to tell you. And I've been right about everything so far. Let me continue. I digress too fucking much. So Donnie single-handedly with his tariff grift saved the cattle ranchers. That's why they're doing so well. Oh, and can you lower prices even though meat's more rare now? Farmers are having problems growing shit. Cattle people are having problems raising cattle. Meat is getting more rare in this country. That's why the price has gone up. Maybe some tariffs have something to do with it as well, and Donnie's destruction of the economy. I don't know. And then Donnie tells them as they're struggling, as the farmers are struggling, yeah, I'm going to import beef from Argentina that has fucking foot and mouth. Unbelievable. As he tells them the tariffs have saved them. The tariffs have saved everything. They've saved the whole world, according to the grifter in charge. This man has spoken of tariffs, I think, every day for the past 10 fucking years. That alone should tell you what's going in his fucking pocket. He said it's his favorite word. Such marks. Then Donnie posts this little post again. And I shouldn't give a fuck about you people in the farming industry and the cattle industry if I were like you. Because you don't agree with me politically or my worldview or whatever. I should hate you, right? Morons that voted for this. As we begged you not to. As we cared more about you than you did. In addition to everything else, tariffs on other countries saved our cattle ranchers. That's in all caps. I'm sure it really saved you guys. Again, so that's 2 posts about tariffs saving the world and the cattle ranchers. Now he goes to the car companies. Mary Barra of General Motors, Bill Ford of Ford Motor Company just called to thank me for putting tariffs on mid-size and large-size trucks. Their stock has gone through the roof. They told me that without the tariffs, it'd be a very hard, long slog for truck and car manufacturers in the United States. I'm going to stop right there. Now the tariffs have saved the car industry when not one car is built completely in America. Yeah, I'm not buying that one. This doesn't sound real to me. Even if it is, they're lying to him. So he can post this. Nah, it didn't save shit. In fact, I remember the car companies, Ford included, didn't they all put out numbers that what the tariffs were going to cost them? And it was in the billions. That's reality. because there ain't a car on the roads in America that was built completely in America unless it's a fucking antique. So tariffs hit them all. They're all getting parts from China, Korea, wherever the fuck they can. You kidding me? When's the last time a car was built in America? Where all the parts came from America? Never. It's been so long. So we start the day off with the tariffs have saved the cattle ranchers. The tariffs have saved the American car manufacturers. That ain't what I saw them putting them numbers out a few months ago. Wait till the November 1st or whatever, 157 million% tariffs go in effect against China. That should be fun. Until he changes his mind a couple days after the market tanks. So him and his buddies can make billions. When it goes back up. So the tariffs always, they save the world peace. Every war was solved by tariffs. We're going to see that too. Let me continue. Here's Donnie, all the gold, hideous gold, White House behind him. Jesus Christ, can you, just that little window, that much gold alone. Boy, it's gone to an evil, horrible, disgusting place. The ranchers are so happy for what I've done. I saved them. I don't think you'd have any beef in this country if I didn't do that. So we're very proud of that. Obviously, several people went to Donnie and let him know, yeah, there's an upwelling of farmers and ranchers that are starting to hate you because of what you're doing. That's why 2 posts, and he talks about it in the White House. Again, the tariffs have saved all the cattle ranchers. Donnie would not have put 2 posts and said this as well if that was true, and it should be that obvious to you. You shouldn't need any more than that to see between the bullshit lines. Donnie, again, he's not that smart. He's like a small child. Everything's right on his sleeve. Everything. So what's on his sleeve right now? Well, 3-4 people came to him. Yeah, the farmers are about to start pulling out the pitchforks and torches on your ass. Oh, let me put up a couple AI-driven posts, and I'll say some shit in the White House as I'm, all bedecked in fucking gold, like some kind of Caesar god or something. Again, I hate to keep saying this, but do you realize how over the world is, and especially this country? My God. Just look at the Oval Office, son. That should tell you all you need to fucking know. Donnie again. Same thing. Hideous gold. Orange-faced fucking con man, demon, antichrist. The only cost that's really up is beef. Still talking about it. And the fake news only wants to talk about beef. No, they don't. People need to eat, motherfucker, as you're grifting. As your tariffs are going right in your fucking pocket and you're going to steal another $230. Fuck you. People need to eat, and that cost affects them. And what I did is I made it possible for those people to survive, but they were being decimated by other countries. So prices are way down, groceries are down, everything is down. Our country has never done better. I don't believe that. They got decimated Donnie's first 4 years, I bet. Just like they are getting decimated now. In between, nope, because they would have been protected by Democrats and Republicans. Fucking Marx, man. 35% of this population in this country. I can't believe. Look at all the gold in the Oval Office and ask yourself if you're a fucking jerk off. See what you come up with. Prices are way down, groceries are down, everything's down, our country's never done better. That's the complete opposite of reality, a complete inversion. Just like Hitler would do, the devil would do, the Antichrist would do. Straight inversion. Again, inversion of reality, that was a major thing in Scripture in one respect. Some Pharisees or some people in front of Jesus blasphemed the Holy Spirit. Jesus mentioned the Holy Spirit, I think, and they said the Holy Spirit is of the devil, son. They inverted reality. They called God the devil and the devil God in the presence of Christ. Do you know what Christ said about that, son? You people that were shilling for the mob, you executives shilling for the Reich and for the mob, you might want to listen right here, even though you won't see it. You'll still hear it, though, don't worry. Because it ain't coming from me. Christ said, what you've just done is the unpardonable sin, son. If you say the Holy Spirit is of the devil, if you invert God like that, that's unpardonable, son. It's the only unpardonable sin besides taking the mark. That's not really a sin, but per se, it's more of an oath to something. Sinful, of course, but a bit different. Lying for the devil, for the mob, for evil. Inverting reality. A lesser offense than blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, inverting that reality. Still terrible. Trump on the president of Colombia, since the president of Colombia is letting the world know, yeah, Trump's a dictator, and he's killing fishermen. So now it's time to invade Colombia, right, Roops? To protect the murderer in chief who murders fishermen. Right? That's Jesus-y, right? He's a thug and a bad guy. He's a guy that's making a lot of drugs. We just, as of today, stopped all payments going to Colombia. Has there been any proof of any payments? I haven't heard of any. The country of Colombia, also the school Colombia. What's that got to do with it? Oh, that's right. That's my Hitler agenda against academics. Same thing he did. No, we settled. He better watch it or we'll take various serious action against him and his country. So again, offering military services to another foreign nation. Warmonger. The Antichrist is described as a warmonger. And he's only just begun. Again, I hate having to say the same things over and over again, but people don't remember like I do. They really don't. Donnie's first term, the first 6 months, an armada of ships racing towards North Korea just for fun. 200 missiles shot into Syria. The mother of all bombs dropped on Afghanistan. Donnie was just having some fun. Until he got shamed by Ann Coulter and the right-wing machine. Then he changed course and tried to become the man of peace all of a sudden. Look at the man of peace now, in between asking for the Nobel. He's murdering fishermen in the Pacific, in the Caribbean, bombing Yemen, bombing Somalia or Sudan, I can't remember which one, bombing Iran, offering military to go into Palestine. About to invade Venezuela for their oil, about to invade Colombia. And what he's doing, why he's blowing up these ships as well, I told you a long time ago. If you want the right to do business, I told you cunts before the election, and you know who I'm talking to. If you want the right to do business in this world, in this country, be it black market business or legit business, you pay tribute to Donnie. I told you that before the election, son. That's what Donnie's been letting the cartels know for a while now. I don't know if you've noticed. Let a few of the cartels come forth with some tribute. Watch the problems go away. For a while. Till the next tribute payment. Just like you, Google, I told you. All of you. That knew better. You guys went to college. You wear $8,000 suits. And I don't, so you must be smart, right? You must be better than me in many ways, right? Including intellectually, right? When Donnie's hitting you up for millions upon millions once a month, which I told you again would happen before the election, all wise, all knowing executives across the world and CEOs, I wonder if you'll still think you're better and smarter and all that. And again, son, I knew this before it took place, and I begged you not to do it, and I know you heard me. Look at you now. I told all you rich out there you'd be the targets. Why? Because you have the fucking money. And you thought you could control this beast with your vote, with whatever. Like I said the entire time back at the beginning of this video in the British accent, the best I could do. It all goes to the lake, son. That's where all roads lead. That's what I knew that you didn't. That's where you're going to realize I should have taken a different path. So Donnie's setting up a move against the cartels or Colombia itself because the leader of Colombia is basically saying the truth about Donnie. That he's murdering fishermen. And one more time, I want to say, it's obvious to me now, and for a while, Donnie's letting all the cartels in Colombia, in Venezuela, in fucking Mexico, he's letting them all know, where's my tribute, son? You want to do business? You want to bring drugs in? Where's my tribute, son? Otherwise, I'm blowing boats up. Otherwise, I'm invading. And then I'll be running your business. Do you see how that works? Do you see what they're doing? Same thing with the tariffs and the moves against legit businesses, as legit as they can be, because none of them are. Not even close. They're just legal businesses. Like the legal drug dealers, the pharmaceutical companies. As we blow up drug boats in the Caribbean and in the Pacific. Some drug dealers have a license to deal. Other drug dealers don't. That's simple. Okay, now we're talking about the strikes on the boats that Donnie's been doing. The murders Donnie has been ordering. One shot, everyone dead center, and the only way you can't feel bad about it is you realize that you won't feel badly about it, is you realize that every time you see that happen, you're saving 25,000 American lives. No, those people died for Donnie's grift. Donnie's grift is annexation of resources across this planet, especially from Greenland all the way down to the top portion of South America. Annexation, stealing of resources, getting the cartels to pay tribute. That's why these men died. For a warmonger, antichrist piece of fucking shit who wants to rule the entire world and steal everything. Everything! Don't ever forget that. This is a bottomless fucking pit. Look at the gold behind this thing. This is a bottomless pit of fucking greed and death. I looked at a picture. I was cleaning my phone out, texts and different things. I saw the death parrot again. I see him every once in a while as I'm going through my phone. I'm not looking for him. I bet a lot of people thought I was crazy as fuck when I was talking about that. No, I told you death was coming back when that death parrot showed up. Death. You've seen that said in movies and stories out loud in real moments by people, never real before as it will be now. Death, son. That's all that's coming. I don't know if you noticed. Yeah, the death parrot, that was real. I'll show you the picture again soon, don't worry. That's why I got shook by it. Everyone else probably didn't take it very serious, but man, I could just feel it when I looked at the picture. Death. So Donnie's justifying, now that he's starting to realize he's definitely going to be in legal trouble at some point if this ever gets to a court or he's out of power. He will literally go, for international war crimes, easily provable. So now he's trying to justify it mentally, his evil and yours, that are down with this. By saying it saves 25,000 American lives. Has nothing to do with saving lives, son. It never did. Has to do with a Don who wants tribute, who wants a percentage or to run it all himself. The cartels. That's what he's doing. He wants Venezuela's oil as well. That's what he's doing. Hitler. Same thing. I want what my neighbors have. I'm going to take it. Via Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg on the water. Justifying it. I'm saving lives. No, you're not. You're murdering people. That's it. That's all you're doing. End of story. Even the reasons don't matter. You're simply murdering people. That's it. Doesn't save anybody. Not one person. All it does is kill. All it brings is death. Can you imagine, could you have imagined this before? The President of the United States joking, bragging about blowing up random boats in the Pacific and the Caribbean day after day. Murder, bragging about murder. We're not at war with these people. They see a boat they don't like. Oh, well, people don't go fishing anymore. Ha, 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 ha. Death. That ain't nothing to laugh at, son. That should send a chill down your spine every time he jokes about it. Be ye rube or not. This is Donnie showing the plans to the ballroom as the room behind him is bedecked in gold. That's kind of what it'll look like. Has the plans. He had a model out in front of him on the table. I want to remind you, as he's doing this with all the hideous fucking gold behind him because he thinks he's God Caesar or something. The government is shut down. People are not getting paychecks. Programs are not being funded. People are scared, worried. They don't know what to do. They have nowhere to turn. People aren't getting their paychecks. Do you hear me? Because of this fat cunt. His big priority is, I'm going to steal $230 million of your money, tells us straight up, to build this thing for renovations on the White House. That's if I steal the money. You know, I might not steal. Maybe I will. Of course I'm going to steal the money. the government is shut down, that means a lot of bad things happen to a lot of people. Instead of trying to get the government back open, which is his goddamn job, he's showing you plans for a ballroom that you will pay for, that he will steal the money for from the Treasury. He just told you that yesterday. No one are marks like American marks, boy. Trump waves around renderings of his new ballroom, which appears to be entirely gold. Entirely gold. How many of you are struggling out there? You vote for a man with a gold toilet who's building a gold ballroom, who sits in a golden Oval Office, who now presides over the Holy Land, so I assume there will be golden statues. Again, you fucking people. You people that helped the mob, you people that helped the Reich, that made all this happen. You can't even fathom, you tiny children, what the fuck you've ushered in. I knew 10 years ago. As I watched all you little children scamper about, telling your lies, voting for evil, endorsing evil, being evil. Here's Donnie again. We did the Middle East +7, so we did 7 different wars. All these wars I did. We have one left. It'll be 9. That's you. You who made this happen, that's you. 1 + 7 is 9. That's what you've been your entire existence, especially the last 10 years. And that's what the Reich's going to expect you to believe or say out loud if asked. That 1 + 7 is 9. And if you don't, to the gulag or execution with you. That's where it's going. That's where it was always going. And again, I knew that 10 years ago. That's why I've been yelling. Donnie is an expert at lying. He's not an expert at math. And he has dementia, so. If this country is not allowed to have tariffs, if this country is not allowed to have the president negotiate on behalf of it with tariffs, we are put in a position where we're going to be a third world country. We can't let that happen. I think it's the most important case that we're going to have for many, many years to come. Donnie letting you know the grift is not going away. It didn't go away in the first term, all 4 years. Again, he talks about these tariffs every single day, multiple times a day. That should tell you one thing. If it's so important to this man, he's willing to tank the entire world economy over it. That means he's pocketing the fucking money. Holy fuck. And he's letting you know it ain't going away, son. So if you're crossing your fingers, you own a farm, a business, you crossing your fingers, waiting for the government to reopen, waiting for the tariffs to go away, waiting things to go back the way they were after you fucking voted for it, because I know most business owners did. You gonna be solely disappointed, son. Again, you all thought with your vote, with your status in society, with you being a business owner, you could leash this fucking thing. Oh no, son. So many of you have gone bankrupt, and you gonna go bankrupt. 'Cause of one person. You. 'Cause you chose evil for tax cuts. That's it. All the way down to the bitch ass, business that makes a few $100,000 a year. You knew better, right, son? Watch it disappear now. Again, we all begged you for 10 years. And right before this last, please don't do it. We cared about you and us more than you fucking did. So sad. Donnie letting you know the grift is never going away. His favorite word is tariffs. I'm sorry, son. You voted for it. I didn't. Trump on demolition of the White House East Wing. And by the way, he had already promised he wasn't going to knock down any of the White House for this hideous Hitler ballroom. So he already went back on that. It was never thought of as being much to him. It was a very small building to him, and rather than allowing that to hurt a very expensive, beautiful building that, frankly, they've been after for years, no one's wanted to build a ballroom like that except the Antichrist. In order to do it properly, we had to take down the existing structure, sure. Properly, you say. Again, as he just tears down the people's house like it ain't shit for his Hitler ballroom, because he never plans on leaving, son. And he's going to steal $230 of your money to pay for it. And again, the government shut down while he's saying, oh yeah, the renovations that you're paying for, the ballroom that you're going to pay for after I steal that $230 million. It just had to be done. And everybody wanted it. Before, none of that's true, absolutely. Again, just all pure, just lies. And of course, Donnie's going to do major renovations and building projects. Why? Because you're paying for it, asshole! That's why. Every fucking nickel. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Did you miss me? Anyway, let's move to the next thing. President Trump undercuts America's cattle producers. So this is a big thing. Someone wrote, in a misguided effort to lower the price of beef in grocery stores, President Trump said he plans to increase the volume of beef being imported from Argentina. Efforts to manipulate markets only risk damaging the livelihoods of Americans, cattlemen, and women, while doing little to impact the price consumers are paying at the store. The National Cattlemen's Beef Association and its members cannot stand behind the president as he undercuts the future of family farmers and ranchers by importing Argentinian beef in an attempt to influence prices, said NCBA CEO Colin Woodall. It is imperative that President Trump and Secretary of Agriculture Haggard Brooke Rollins let the cattle markets work. Indeed, I said, let's talk to the cattle ranchers in 6 months after Donnie buys that Argentinian beef and see how they'll like it. Well, they're letting you know how they like it already. And nothing makes a motherfucker stop supporting something faster than all their money going away. Unfortunately, that's the only thing these fucking people respond to. And I guarantee everyone that's part of the cattle ranchers, whatever, almost every single person voted for this. Again, for 10 years, we've been begging you not to do it. Because we cared about us and you and the country. You did not. And you stabbed yourself in the ass twice. Probably voted for it 3 times. Thank God some people stopped you the second time and outvoted you. Praise Christ. So we have the actual cattle people again starting to complain, crying on people's shoulder, saying we can't support this. Again, son, you people knew he was going to do all these things. But your biases, brainwashing, stupidity, whatever you got going on in that sad little head of yours, you knew better. So although I'd love to be sympathetic and empathetic, I guess I'm at the point where I can say you got what you voted for. I don't see the problem here. Now, the consumer complaining about the prices and stuff like that, well, I see the problem there. You, though, that voted for it. Cattle ranchers, you voted for it. Don't try and say you didn't, son. Please, save your dignity. We all know. We tried to warn you, stop you, and you shouldn't even have needed a warning, son. So you got what you voted for. I don't see where the problem is. I'm sorry. You wanted it, not me, not us out here. Good luck. Good luck in bankruptcy court at the auction when they're auctioning off your cattle ranch. We tried to fucking save you. We tried to warn you. We begged you. You knew better, son. I solved, as you know, 8 wars. Of the 8, 5 of them, maybe even 6 of them, are because of tariffs. So tariffs have now brought us world peace, as well as saved the ranchers, as well as saved the car industry. And we're the hottest country ever. The threat of tariffs on these nations, if you want to fight, that's okay. India and Pakistan, if you want to fight, that's okay, but you're gonna pay tariffs. The tariffs had nothing to do with stopping any of it. The India-Pakistan thing, and India's already said that. But it's Donnie's favorite grift. It's an automatic grift account just for him. That's why he loves it so much. Obviously. So the tariffs, according to the Antichrist, liar of all liars, have saved the world, brought us world peace, ended 9 wars, or 6 wars, depending on the lie of the minute. They've saved the cattle ranchers, they've saved the American car manufacturers. Okay. This is another post by Donnie. Looks like this. Ask former President Barack Hussein Obama whether or not he really believes that in 2020 Joe Biden got 15 million more votes than he did in 2012. Additionally, ask him why does Joe Biden beat Obama in every single swing state with the black vote in 2020, even though black voters hate him, but in no other state. Because Donnie knows exactly what black voters think, right? The 2020 election was an illegal scam hoax that people of our great nation, our great country, will never forget. No, Donnie will never forget it. And it wasn't a scam. The Antichrist was in office. Farmers lost their farms. I remember all the movements, all the people that voted for this fucking cunt, crying on our shoulder on CNN, begging for help from themselves and what they've done. And they've done it again. Begging for help for what they've done. You saw the letter from the cattle ranchers. Yeah, there's a reason a lot of people came out. Because Donnie alienated, ruined, bankrupted, just devastated the country. There was a fucking plague. He was trying to hide the whole fucking time. He almost died of fucking COVID. The economy was in the abject shitter when he left. And everybody knows it. And that's why he got voted the fuck out. So Donnie's obviously about to take 230 million, if not more, and he's going to arrest people, and he needs to erase this election loss from history. He needs to erase the insurrection from history. The Republican Party needs to, because about 1/3 of them should have been arrested that day and put in prison for taking part in a coup. And they know who they are, and you know who they are. We don't need to name names. I would say about 1/3 of the party. At least, if not 2/3. Do you have legal authority is the question to Donnie in the shitty gold White House. We have legal authority. We're allowed to do that. And if we do buy land, we may go back to Congress. This is a national security problem. They killed 300,000 Americans last year. Drugs. No, they didn't. Oh my God. And Donnie's been a cokehead like his entire life, and so's his son. No one cares about drugs. The Rubes don't care about drugs. They do drugs. So does Donnie. So it's about tribute from cartels and stealing what the cartels have and stealing the resources of Venezuela or wherever. Letting all the cartels know, you want to operate, you pay the man. Or the Antichrist. There's more to this comment too, because I listened to it. When he says we may go back to Congress about a war on land, he's like, we don't need to do that, but you know what, Marco? Maybe maybe we can go back to Congress. What do you think about that, Marco? And then little Marco, gave a little spiel. A war on land in Colombia, in Venezuela, maybe here. Maybe we'll go back to Congress. We don't have to, but, maybe. Because, yeah, Congress is really supposed to declare war. I don't know if you knew that. Or if you cared. Donnie basically saying out loud, well, we're going to start a war on land. It's going to eventually get to land somewhere, Venezuela, Colombia. We're going to move to that. That was always the plan anyway. And, maybe we'll ask Congress for that next war we're planning right now. We're executing. 32 people have died so far in these boats. 32 people murdered. No due process. No arrests. The 2 people they did grab, they just let them go. Wow, they must have been real dangerous, huh? My God. Basically saying out loud, maybe we'll go back to Congress when we start this next war down there. What do you think, little Marco? How come? Oh, this is In the Closet Johnson. Take a look at this at the podium. Mikey's job gets harder every day. He's got to cover for more and more evil and then pretend to be of Jesus and straight. And I don't care if Mikey's straight. Obviously, Mikey and the Republican Party and all you out there do, because he pretends he pretends he's straight, and he shouldn't have to. Again, I don't care if he's gay. I care if he's persecuting gays as he's gay. I hate hypocrisy. How comfortable are you with the president seeking $230 million? Look, it should say stealing $230 million straight up from the Treasury, because that's what it is. I don't know the details about that. I just read it. He said it out loud. You don't have to read anything. Of course, Mikey knows about it. You can tell by what he says at the end here. You ready? It's good. I just read it. I didn't talk with him about that. I know he believes he's owed that reimbursement. No, that's theft, son. It's not reimbursement for anything. And even if it is, it's still theft. If you want to call it reimbursement. What I heard is that if he receives it, he's going to consider giving it to charity. Consider. It's moved from giving it to charity or renovations to consider giving it to charity. They attack him for everything he does. And then he changed the subject. He said out loud about the president who he works for stealing $230 million. He gets mad that he has to answer the question and that a reporter dares point out the straight up theft of $230 million to build a ballroom. Instead, animosity comes from the devil, from his children. They get mad at you for pointing out their crimes that they commit right in front of our fucking face. He's defending it, and he's saying you're wrong for saying something. You're attacking him for wanting to steal $230 million. Holy shit, can you believe this cretin, this in-the-closet fucking troll exists? And he dares pretend he's of Jesus. Whew. They attack him for everything he does. You know why, Mikey? Mr. In the Closet? Because all he does is lie, cheat, steal, and murder. That's why everyone attacks him. But you know this, Mikey, as much as you know you're not straight. And you're doing it anyway. And the man will not be pleased. Donnie again. There are very few boats traveling in the water right now. Here we go with the jokes about, no boats out there because we're committing actual murder on the high seas. Not we, the Reich and Donnie. Actually, that includes fishing boats. That includes any other kind of boat. So no one's boating at all because, we're randomly murdering people that are flying by in a boat. So now they'll come in by land to a lesser extent, and they will be hit on land also. Donnie letting you know it's about to move to a land war. Because he hasn't received tribute from the cartels. And remember, the leader of Venezuela offered Donnie a major stake in their oil business. And can you even imagine how much money that is? Donnie said no. Why? Because the wolf wants it all, son. This the beast, the Antichrist. He don't want a little bit. He wants it all. That's why he's about to steal $230 million from you. And he told you in advance. Do you plan to meet with the Democrats before you head to Asia? And if not, why? Well, I think it's a shame that it's a shutdown. I don't think it's affecting what we're doing. Right, the Reich looting, dismantling your country, subjugating you, annexing territory, murdering people on the high seas, stealing the money out the treasury, tariff grift, Reich. He's right, it's not affecting any of that. And that's all that matters to the Antichrist. Marx. And that's what I've been yelling for 10 years. Remember the context, son. The government's shut down. People aren't getting paychecks. People are getting laid the fuck off. Service is about to stop. And he knows all this. People are suffering. Instead, he just says, it's not affecting my ballroom or me stealing all the money out the treasury or Fort Knox or subjugating you. Don't worry, I'll make sure the troops and the Gestapo that are kidnapping people get paid. I'm Caesar. I proclaim they get paid. I don't think it's affecting what we're doing. Never mind the entire population of the country that suffers in different ways because of the shutdown, tariffs, the economy, etc. Never mind the government workers and people about to not get paychecks that haven't. Some of them only got partial before they got, let go for a while. Food programs that are about to stop. People will starve. People will starve without their paycheck. Lives will be ruined. Families will be ruined. Nothing ruins a family faster than economic trouble. Don't matter how much love in the room, son. All that is going on while the fat cunt in orange face and a shitty diaper says I don't think it's affecting what we're doing. What do I care? Again, you people don't know what you've done. Trump on the fake Wall Street Journal. A story was put out that Donnie gave Ukraine permission to strike deep in Russia with missiles. So Donnie Krasnov is letting his boss know, Boss Putin know, both, it wasn't me. It said I gave Ukraine permission to shoot missiles deep into Russia. I didn't do that. It wasn't me, ball. I swear, ball. It wasn't me. That's what Donnie Krasnov is saying to his boss, Putin. The fuck? All right, this quickly. I told you about this the other day. This is real. This is not bullshit. Again, you don't know what you've done. ISIS stockpiling arms, including chemical weapons, guided missile warheads, and explosive components. The spending dwarfs anything we've ever seen in the agency. A 700% increase. The president is building an army to attack his own country. Well, he's already deployed the army and other soldiers and mass goons to attack his own country, our own country. That's already happened. Obviously, it's going to escalate to much larger incursions, or they wouldn't be buying the stuff. They know they're about to make some big moves that are about to piss a lot of people off and subjugate a lot of people that will be very angry. They're going to need some bigger weapons for that, to put that down. That's what they're for. I know you watched Alex Jones 20 years ago, and he told you Obama was going to do all that and Hillary. Well, that's the reason you believe that is because you're a fucking idiot and you're of Satan. Hopefully you turn away at some point before the end, which is coming soon. And under 10 years probably. Something like that. 3.5, 4, 5, who the fuck knows? Maybe less. Maybe 2. Here's the thing. The liberals were never going to do that, because just like in Hitler's day, that's not what they wanted. That's what Hitler wanted. What you said the liberals were going to do. That's what Donnie and his Nazis want. What you said the liberals were going to do. That's what you want. What you said the liberals were going to do. As long as it only happens to people you don't like. And it's going to all those nightmare places. And yes, rubes will be hurt by it as well. Look at the cattle ranchers already. Look at the farmers, you fucking idiots. Again, you tiny little babies have no idea what you've ushered in. Fucking biblical, son. Biblical. That's what's about to happen to you. Trump says he'd like to do land strikes on drug dealers. Yeah, we know. That means pay me tribute, son. I don't know if the cartels are paying attention. Again, the ballroom. Well, you struggle to, buy groceries. Your money going to pay for that too. That's why the $230 million about to change hands. As if Donnie wasn't dipping his hand in the treasury already. And the tariff money. Come on. What are we, fucking idiots? Who's going to stop him? Little Marco? Besson? Bondi? Here's Donnie admitting Boss Putin. Just don't listen to him. And Donnie does the tough guy act with every. We're going to deploy the military against our own governors, our own cities. Anyone that spits at an officer, we're allowed to hit them. We're allowed to beat them up. We're going to send people to death camps in Seacot, send them to a camp in Florida, send them to this camp, that camp, deport people. The homegrowns are next. I'm going to invade Venezuela. I own the Holy Land, Board of Peace. I'm going to invade Colombia. A tough guy with everyone except one. You ready? Every time I speak to Vladimir Putin, I have a good conversation, and then they don't go anywhere. They just don't go anywhere. Donnie canceled his meeting with Vlad upcoming because Donnie knows as a dog, as Vlad's dog, Vlad's just going to embarrass him again. and make him look stupid. He's starting to get really... In other words, the fact that he's been Russia's bitch for a long time. I mean, straight up bend over bitch. It's starting to get to him, and I knew it would. It's starting to become painfully obvious. It was obvious in the first term, but now it's like painfully obvious. So Donnie postponed it. He put some little sanctions on some oil companies, getting a little uppity. And now he's just moping. Conversations just don't go anywhere. That's because Boff Putin is the master. Rubes. Commies. That's what you are now. And Donnie is the dog. And you voted for a dog. Vlad's dog. That should bother you. If it doesn't, you never was a patriot, son. You don't even know the meaning of the word. You were just a useful idiot for a Russian KGB agent. That's all. Nothing more. It's all your life amounts to. So sad. Yeah, we know the convos don't go anywhere. That's because Donnie Krasnov is the bitch and Vlad is the butch. Okay? Real simple concept. Always been, son. Since the 80s. The U.S. struck a boat the Trump administration claimed without evidence was carrying drugs from South America. It's the first American strike on a vessel in the Pacific. I will go no further. Now we blowing up boats in the Pacific too. I told you he's the Antichrist. The Antichrist is a warmonger. No matter how much you try and paint him, he is just straight up murdering people on the high seas, and then he jokes about it the next day, and that's every day. If you're wondering if he's the Antichrist, just tune in, turn on your TV as Donnie and the boys laugh about murdering people on the high seas. Every single day. Whew. And again, we're at the end here. Donnie's getting a little uppity. He posted this. Sanctions against several Russian oil companies. I have no idea what kind of teeth this really has. I don't take it very seriously because he's still Donnie Krasnov, Vlad's bitch. Every once in a while, he tries to make it appear that he's getting uppity with Vlad. And it's never real, son. I expect him to snap the leash at some point. I've been saying that for a long time because now he has the means to do it. I said it before the election. If he gets that military back and after the election. Now he has the means. No one on earth can fuck with him. I said it before the election. No one can touch him once he has the keys to the military. Even Vlad. If he wanted to snap that leash, now he has the ability to do it. Is this the beginning of it? I've said this a few times. Every time he gets a little uppity, never real uppity, just a little bit. Remember, Vlad has a PP tape. And much more. Much more. So it looks like Donnie's trying to give the appearance by canceling the meeting. Allegedly, he canceled it. That's what he says. Maybe Boss Putin didn't have time to meet with his dog this time. Maybe that's what really happened. So the meeting's canceled and sanctions against oil companies. I've seen comments that people just said, Ukraine just won the war. Yeah, I don't know about that, son. This is probably just the appearance of getting uppity, and he's not really getting uppity. And he's not really going to snap the leash. Again, I expect at some point for him to snap the leash. Because, again, this is the Antichrist. And everything, I'm seeing every indicator, man. So I don't expect any leash will hold, but there's one leash that's still holding for now. Again, Vlad Putin. He's the only one that don't get the tough talk, son. So Donnie Krasnov giving the appearance of getting uppity. I wonder if it's real. I'm betting no. I expect Russia, the Middle Eastern states, and Donnie to betray the Israelis and us all at once. And we're just going to wake up and people are attacking us. And Donnie opened the door for the whole thing. That's what I expect. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. Something that keeps popping into my head, though. Like I can just feel that betrayal coming. Again, the story in Scripture. Antichrist makes a deal in the Middle East, or makes a deal in general. Betrays those he made the deal with. That will include us as well. He made a deal with us. Taking the oath of the presidency. He's betrayed that every second. But the real betrayal, I have a feeling, will come when he allows foreign forces to come in here and attack us. Certain parts of the country, of course. Already doing it with our military. That's not going to be enough, though. I have a feeling he's going to get some foreigners involved. Just like you said the liberals would do, son, in your infinite fucking wisdom. And you know who I'm talking to. Millions of you out there that thought you ever had a fucking clue. Everything you said the liberals would do is you. You're doing it. You made it happen. Everything you said the liberals would do, the Reich is doing. To you and us. Adolf Hitler locked up the liberals first before anyone. So no, Adolf wasn't a socialist. He was a fascist. He was a dictator like Donnie. Exactly like Donnie. In fact, Donnie is the modern Hitler. Literally. And the Antichrist. Literally. Not an Antichrist. And you have ushered in the apocalypse, your judgment, Armageddon, and then the lake for you, lest you turn away, son. I hope for your sake you do. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Hopefully Armageddon doesn't start tomorrow.